We'll get Sparkplug back safe no matter what it takes. Got any inventions, Wheeljack? Maybe, but we'll need them.
Welcome back to the Tidy Room here. This is Mike. Today I will talk to you about the MP-45 Bumblebee 2.0 from Takara. This is the fourth party, which can mean a lot of things, but usually means a knockoff or a KO. So we're going to take a look at this. We're going to compare it to the original. We're going to see how it stacks up to the original. Is it as good? Is it better? Is it worse? So I am going to compare a lot of things with it. Now I will have a link down below where you can watch my first video, which is actually a KO comparison, oddly enough, about this figure. But I did get this at Showsy. I have a link down below where you can get yours. It's like 53 bucks, and it's probably going to sell pretty quick because for whatever reason this is in high demand, even though a lot of people bash it. But we are going to talk about this coming up. Alright, so here is the packaging, and I'm going to tell you that it looks exactly the same as the original, and I'm kind of going to tell you why I think so. But you see you have this kind of embossed, I guess that's what you call it when it's all shiny like that, but it's got that shininess going on with the figure on the front, the picture, and then all of this writing down here, writing on the bottom. We got the foil sticker on there, and then you have the back of it. And so we're going to bring in the original, and I'm going to bring the original, and you're going to see that they look exactly the same. Now, I've been sitting here looking at these, trying to find any difference on this. So what I want to show is what I've been doing is kind of comparing, like the writing is in the exact same spot. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but doing it like this, you can tell that the writing's in the exact same spot. So nothing's really deviated. Usually when there's a KO box that matches the original, something has shifted over, something like that. Here is this from the side. Now, I actually don't really care that much, but a lot of people that are saying, hey, I'm going to pay more for an original do care. So you can take this part of the video and just zoom in and look and see what's different. I mean, I thought something was different in this box for a bit, but I just don't see it. I don't see any difference on the top, on the bottom. I don't see any difference to the box whatsoever. But anyhow, the packaging looks the same. Now the package, I want to go through the accessories real fast. So here is the instruction booklet with stickers, a card, kind of the same as the original. Instruction and card. This one's packed a little better. I think I've opened that one. I don't know if I've opened that one or not, but this is like a tighter, more compact kind of packing than this one, the original. Try to keep it all separate, although it really doesn't matter to me that much. Inside here, we have the two faces that one is, I don't know, less happy, and another one's more happy. We're not going to mess with swapping faces out. I love New York. We've got the gun, the blast effect, and the figure that I'm afraid to even move his joints because they pop off so easy, but they stand really well. When it comes like this, just standing, it's really solid, but moving the joints and trying to get them in, that's when the joints just pop off. So I think just leaving them in a standing mode is the best way. Treat them like a statue. Okay, so here it is in the alt mode. It is shipped in the alt mode, just like the original. And so looking at the alt mode, I do think that, of course, it looks really good. It looks really good in the alt mode. There are some areas where you kind of play with trying to tab it in, and you can fiddle around with it. Right out of the box, you're going to need to make some adjustments. Some contents have shifted during the flight. That's just kind of how it goes. I was a little off put. The yellow that they used around the windows, because this is all clear plastic right here, and then they paint over the clear plastic, and it's not quite matching the solid pieces. Although I think they did that on this too, and that matches, but it's not quite 100% match on the window frames, which is a little off-putting. I don't remember this being on the original like that, but or the other KO. Actually, I've got to pull up my other video, so I'll be checking that out here in a bit. But yeah, this is still a good-looking version, and it rolls. And so yeah, I'm not 100% convinced that this is a true KO. I think this might be more along the lines of what happened with the Make Toys Contact Shot, which is the factory itself that made the original run is making it again without the approval, or maybe even with the approval. But it's called fourth party, and then if they call it fourth party, then there are some tricks with that. But the alt mode does look pretty good. Just trying to make sure everything is tabbed in all at once. And I think that's more of a design issue than a quality with this. But I mean, we'll have to get transformed up to find out. I mean, this is still my first reaction of this out of the box. And I think I will long-term keep this in the alt mode because of the fact that I like to have stuff like this for comparison. So anyway, let's, speaking of comparison, let's get into some comparisons. Here he is in comparison to the Magic Square, Fans Toys, and MMC. Well, aside from the Magic Square one being pretty clean, this is the reject lane of Masterpiece. Spindrift 2.0, this is the size difference, the MMC size difference, and the pretty much any prime on the market size difference. And for size difference, and why not, this is the Takara, X-Transbots, and KO Oversize of Hasbro. Alright, so here he is all transformed up, and I will link down below my first video, and oddly enough, it was a video comparing what they said was a fourth party, which was actually still a Takara. It came 2 weeks after the original release. But with this, I'm going to just get right into the bot mode, because the transformations take so long on camera, and nobody really needs to see that. But if you want to see it, you can watch my other video and take a 3-year blast to the past. Anyway, so I want to say that this dude is super solid. It feels, well, that foot just kind of slid, but he is feeling very solid. So I do want to point out one thing about the transformation that will be different. For me, this part here was really tight. So you're supposed to pull the hood out from the windshield section, and then you rotate around the spare tire piece. And when I did all that, it was just so tight. And because this is clear plastic, it could potentially break easy. So I was really careful with that section. So, but everything being tight is a good thing in my opinion. And so, yeah, I think it looks good overall. I mean, it really does match the original. But we're going to get deeper diving into matching the original, comparing it to the original. But let's get into articulation. Then we can throw the accessories on it, and then we can do some comparisons. Now, articulation really isn't so much to show you articulation. It's to show how tight this guy is. That the head's nice and tight. There's the butterfly. Butterfly is a little looser than the rest of these joints, but that arm way out there. The bicep swivel. You got the double, not a double joint. Is it a double jointed elbow? No, it's a single jointed elbow. Is it double? Well, it gets you a lot of range. And then you've got the waist. Now, the waist swivel is very limited, and very, very tight. You do have the hiding hip flap, and then goes up to there, back to there, all the way out to right there. And then you got the knee right there, and then you got all kinds of different range on this foot. So with that, yeah, it looks good. It's tight. Let's do some comparisons. He's got to get his accessories in his hand, and he just has the typewriter fingers, just opens up that one hinge for the rest of the hand there, and then we can put this on here, and then, come on, go in there. Come on, go in there. That tab to go in there. All right, take a bit of pressure to get that gun in his hand. We'll tab it in, and then we're going to push this on here. And I think the gun is painted. Yeah, I forgot about that. The gun is painted. We'll see that in the comparison. But yeah, there it is. Let's get him in kind of a similar pose to the other one that I have, and then we'll do the comparisons. All right, so here he is side by side with the original, and I gotta say that they look very similar. The big difference is the color. I'm not sure if it's showing up on the camera. Let's just kind of get different angles on it. But it's a slight bit oranger, or in my opinion, more vibrant. So this is the new one. This is the original. I don't think it's really a KO. I actually think it's made in the same factory, just like with Make Toys. So, but hey, gotta call it the fourth party for whatever reason. Maybe it's because the price. It was insane that they originally came out at $120. That blew everyone's mind. That back then, 3 years ago or more, but my video says it was 3 years ago when I did the video of it. So I'll believe YouTube. They used to put the actual date on there, which sucks that they don't do that anymore. think that this one's easier to condense down because the tolerance is so tight on that I didn't want to push it in that hard or break anything. So yeah, I want to point out also with the stiffness that, like, this one's super stiff. The original, a lot more play. Then again, I've had this 3 years. I've been messing with it, but I don't mess with it that much. But this just feels really solid. I'm really liking that. I might throw this guy in the all mode, so that might be what I do. Anyhow, yeah, it looks like the same figure except just slightly different paint to it. And let's zoom in on the weapons too. I do think that the original blast effect is a little bit lighter. So this is the new fourth party, and that is the original. And yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell the difference. But I mean, if you're in the wild, there's no way to tell the difference between these two. Really, I would not. If I left the house, come back, and I didn't know which one I put where and picked one of them up, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So anyhow, looking pretty good. All right, so here he is next to MP-44. Over here, MP-44, Magic Square Prime. I think that the new reissue of Takara MP-44 is going to look a lot like that one, but we'll see when that one comes in. But that's how he looks scaled next to them. Tiny little guy. Here he is next to the Fans Toys one, and for those of you who want to see it, I'm just going to do a quick little side-by-side and back-to-back. And Fans Toys is not without a backpack, but a little cleaner on the foot, but bigger on the foot. The foot has a bigger footprint. Ha 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 ha. But I actually do like what Fans Toys did better than this. But there's still some stuff, like people point out, it's not perfect. Like you got this little section here that's got for the ab crunch. Does it even have an ab crunch? Got this little section right here in there that just kind of is a little unsightly. It's a little more, looks a little better on the Takara one. I mean, there's pluses and minuses to both of these, but overall I do kind of like the Fans Toys approach a little bit more. But they look good next to each other. And this is another funny point, is that people bashed this, but yet it's sold out, and now this KO is going to sell out fast. And it's the other masterpiece that I just have randomly chilling in the review station for some unknown reason is DX9's Richtofen. And yeah, he's not posed very well, but there he is next to Richtofen. Alright, so this is my look at the alleged KO fourth party of Bumblebee Takara 2.0 MP-45. And I want to say about this is that I'm not convinced that it's a whole other company making it. I think it's just made in the same factory. Everything's exactly the same as the original, down to the packaging of the box. The only difference is slight color variations. And 3 years later, you know, when you mix paint, it's going to be slightly different. I could see that. You can't even match paint on the walls on your house 100%. So with this guy, I think it's great. If you missed this the first go around, pick it up. If you want to still wait for Fans Toys to possibly somewhat maybe announce one in a year or two and then come out in 5, then wait. It's up to you anyway. I'm going to have a link down below where you can get this at ShowZ. And when these sell out, then they're going to be going for stupid money on the Evil Bays. So let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Do you already have this? Did you get it? Are you looking forward to picking one of these up? Remember TH reviewer code. Like and subscribe. Padirum Hanger out.
Teletran 1 must have blown his beta BIOS. Hi. Spike, I need your help.
Save his father, Sparkplug, who has been turned into a mindless slave. All in the next exciting episode of The Transformers, The Ultimate Doom.